Hi, I'm Nikki. I am with Nexio. I'm the business development director there.
And I'm Adrian Visitua. I'm the VP of our platform sales and customer success.
I'm Carlos, CEO of S4DS. In terms of payments, it's a big challenge.
Right.
So if we want to tackle the Hispanic and Latin American market in US is the first challenge, but if you want to go overseas, there is a new challenge. So I want to open the conversation in terms of capabilities. What is the preferred method? What is the general aspect in terms of the technology that is required to provide the appropriate service? And then what is the main challenge that the industry is facing?
Yeah, I think the main difference of expanding into the United States versus the Latin American countries is the lack of alternative payment methods that we have in the US. We have a lot of alternative payment methods, but the primary way to pay your bill online is with a credit card or a bank card. So that would be probably the biggest difference I see, is needing to have a traditional merchant account and then having more of the streamlined payment methods, more like the Apple Pays, the Google Pays, the Klarnas. What we're seeing today is, in the US at least, is just a mindset shift of the buy now, pay laters. So being able to pay in full.
Even in Amazon, you can find it.
Yes,
Right.
yeah. I think it's just like the millennia, the younger kids, like the idea of like not having credit, but still being able to pay that installment in 4 payments, they're more likely to buy. So that would probably be the biggest difference I see.
Right. And then when you're going overseas, it becomes an additional challenge as well, because you're trying to then make sure that you're tapping into that market and addressing those specific alternative payment methods that they use there. So you are, in addition to regulation challenges and new business requirements in foreign countries. So it's helpful to have a partner in that space who understands what is useful in that area, how to develop those relationships that you need to in order to be able to accommodate those alternative payment methods, and also the technology layer behind it.
And another really good question is, are you going to create an entity in the US, or are you going to remain in your country? If you are, you need to start considering cross-border fees. What is going to be the most cost-efficient way for you guys to accept payments? And that's where a good partner who can help consult on your volumes and your business specifics, if it would be a good idea to create an entity in the US.
In my perspective, and I think the story of all our customers is definitely challenging, because when you're wants to really grow in a country, then your local business, your US business, doesn't help you to provide that, because the exchange rate doesn't help, or any regulatory process doesn't help you too much. When you're very visible, then you need to create a company in every single country. Then you need to rely on the local currency, because otherwise the inflation, the exchange rate would kill you. And then there's the complexity starts. And another big aspect is only 5% of the transactions, generally speaking, in Latin America in this industry is made up with electronic payments,
Right.
which 95% is non-banking solutions. So you need to really go through the different solutions that is out there. And I think there is a good teacher, which is Mercado Libre, which is the local Amazon in Latin America, that teaches that, okay, Mercado Libre is successful because they create Mercado Pago, which is okay. Is they facilitate integration with all these local vendors, and that provides you a place to go and place your money. It's cash. So it is interesting to see that. I think that you're working very hard to achieve those integrations, and definitely will be very successful in the short term.
Yeah, 100%.
And one thing I was thinking about too while we were talking is that as companies are growing in other countries, they are there, because there are so many different options that are out there. They need to make sure that they are taking advantage of all of those options, and to not be afraid to have multiple merchant accounts, because that helps to create some redundancy, helps to make sure that if there is any hiccups with one payment versus a method versus another, there's options there that can be supported by technology, and just make sure that the payment is going to go through.
Yeah,
absolutely. Another concern to put on the table is the cost. Everybody's over concerned about what is the cost involved in the transaction. It depends on the volume. It could be very
right.
You need to be careful about that. So just another
Right.
concern. Okay.
Yeah. Generally, the more volume you're doing, the cheaper it is to accept payment methods, right? That's
That is
how the
important to know.
providers
Yeah.
kind of view things. But yeah, that's why we like to consult on if you are doing a significant amount of volume, how can we help you optimize your revenue? And there are different ways that you can do that outside of just accepting the payments. There are ways through your APIs that you can do that. And so that's something that at Nexio we really dive into when we onboard a new client is revenue optimization. So
It's so great. I think we opened the conversation for you, and I think that definitely is a topic, a must topic to address when you want to go to this market. So we're here. So thank you so much for joining today and to
Thank
share all these
you.
thoughts.
Thanks
thank
for
you for
having
being an
us.
awesome partner of ours.
Bye.
Okay.